So yesterday Tim Houston gave his State of the Province speech, and as you can guess, it was all about ways he's selling Nova Scotia to large corporations, all the while ignoring the hundreds if not thousands of people outside the convention center yesterday with QB workers on week 7 of their strike, demanding better workers' rights and better pay in this growing economy as more and more Nova Scotians cannot afford to live here. But that wasn't the Premier's focus at all, as he wants to focus on the large corporations that are invested in this province. I find it's pretty interesting that he claims only science could change his mind regarding things like fracking, even though we have a mountain of evidence showing a lot of the things he's trying to do is bad for this economy, especially when you ignore procedures, and he's still going forward. As he stated in the past, progress over process. Now, Tim Houston claims that a lot of this progress will bring jobs to the province. But if he's so confident in this, why is he needing to shove this all through and not following the proper process so we can make sure nobody's rights are being infringed like he's more than willing to do? Since he's more than willing to ignore the rights of union workers and our Indigenous people to get things done. Now, he claims all this work is because Nova Scotia is in such a large deficit. Yet it was his government that put us in this deficit. You can see this in the 2025 financial report by the Auditor General. We did have debt prior to this government, but since this government's been in office, they spent $6.7 billion in additional appropriations that had very little to no records on what was being spent. He was also caught spending way more for certain contracts and not following the proper process of allowing them to bid for certain jobs. These cost Nova Scotians way more than they should have. How he's had some jobs even start before they even had a contract. All these large corporations that invest Nova Scotia is bringing in get a 25% rebate on eligible projects that can range anywhere between $350,000 to $15 million. So all that money they're spending on these projects, they get a 25% rebate. So yeah, this whole speech was all about Tim Houston selling Nova Scotia to big corporations and be damned of what anyone else has to say. As he stated before, his opponents' voices are simply just drowning out the voices that he wants to hear. If you want to see the video yourself of his speech, I think CTV has a clip of it. But like always, I'm very curious to know, what are your thoughts about this in the comments down below.